Paišnavabhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena va kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradharana Para Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Ishanishavatarakam Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaurudaye Pushpavantau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Grantira Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nijavanchita Purana Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Dasa Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas, for joining. We are reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 7, entitled Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 5 features. We have read till text number 128 yesterday, and today is June 12th, so we are reading 129th. We discussed yesterday primarily the significance of the word Om, Ma, Krishna, Radharani, and the Jivas, and how the word Om has Sarva Vishwadham. It includes everything: Krishna's name, form, qualities, entourage, qualities, his devotees, his pastimes, his guru, jivas, material energy, spiritual energy, everything in short is there because it's transcendental. Like every name of Krishna is so powerful, and of course, Om is the Mahavakya. So we discussed all that yesterday. Now we will move on to the next verse, which is 129. Sarvashraya Ishvarera Pranava Udesh Tattvam Asi Vakya Hoyo Vedera Ikadesh. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is the purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to present Pranava, Omkar, as the reservoir of all the Vedic literature, Vedic knowledge. The words Tattvam Asi are only a partial explanation of the Vedic knowledge. Purport: Tattvam Asi means you are the same spiritual identity. So this is a short purport. In this, we have already discussed that yesterday. That Tattvamasi, the meaning of that, or Soham, you are that, Soham, or I am that, right? We discussed that, that we are not, this is only what? Partial explanation of the Vedic knowledge. It's not, we are same in quality, right? We are not God, but we are God, we have God-like qualities, but we are not God, right? So we have minute, we have the same Satchit Ananda quality. It's like the same chemical composition which the drop of the ocean has and the ocean has. But we cannot say a drop of water or drop of ocean water is as good as the ocean. In quality, yes, but not in quantity. So that's a big difference in the Vaishnava understanding, which is called Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. But the Mayavadis, what they say? Oh, there's no difference. You are the same, Advaita. No two, no non-dual. You are Tattvam Asi, you are that, or you become that, or you are as good as God. That is not the proper understanding of the Vedic literature. What is the proper understanding? To present Omkar as a reservoir. So, but Mayavadis, they focus on this. That's what Lord Chaitanya is explaining here. Any comments? Let's read the next one. Anyone feeling inspired to read 130? Sheetal Mataji, would you like to try?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Pranava Mahavakya Taha Kari Achadana Mahavakya Kari Tattvamasi Rastapana. Would you scroll up, Prabhuji, please? Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Pranava, Omkar, is the Mahavakya, Mahamantra in the Vedas. Shankaracharya's followers covered this to, what is that word? Access or without authority, the mantra Tat Tvam Asi. Purport: the Mayavadi philosophers stress the statements Tat Tvam Asi, so Aham, etc., but they do not stress the real Mahamantra Pranava Omkara. Therefore, because they misrepresent Vedic knowledge, they are the greatest offenders to the lotus feet of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says clearly, Mayavadi Krishna Apradhi. Mayavadi philosophers are the greatest offenders to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna declares, Tannaham Dvishta Kruran Samashreshu Naradhaman Kshipami Ajashram Ashubhan Ashru Shriva Eva Yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among mankind, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence into various demoniac species of life. Bhagavad Gita 16.19. Life in demoniac species awaits the Mayavadi philosophers after death because they are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 9.34, Man bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. One demoniac scholar says that it is not Krishna to whom one must surrender. This scholar is already suffering in this life and he will have to suffer again in the next life. In this life, he does not complete his prescribed suffering. In this life, if he does not complete his prescribed suffering, one should be very careful not to be envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the next verse, therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly states the purport of the Vedas. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this verse. Do you have any comments here?
Um, No, Prabhuji, please elaborate. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So yesterday we were discussing on this two words, right? Soham, right? How a person went to a Mayavadi teacher. He said, "Oh, chant Soham. I am that. Aham. So Aham, basically. That Aham means I. So means that. So I am that. Or that. Or Tattvamasi. You are that. But what's our mood? We are Dasatvam Asi. Right? We can add the word Dasatvam Asi. We are the servant. Tad Dasatvam Asi. Right? We are the servant of that Supreme Lord. So this should be our mood. We don't want to compete God. We don't want to fight God. We don't want to play with God. We want to be the eternal servant of God. Mam Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahetuki Tvai Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor Das Das Dasanudas. But what the Mayavadi says, they stress on the on this mantra, Tattvamasi, Soham, etc. And they do not stress the real Maha Mantra, referring to Om, referring to the Hare Krishna mantra. They're not focusing on that. They're focusing like partially taking one line from the scripture and just focusing on that. That leads to wrong conclusions. Therefore, they're called as aparadhi. Therefore, we should not hear to such people Mayavadi Bhashya Sunilye Hoila Sarva Nash. It will cause spiritual ruination. We should hear from devotees, especially those devotees who are selflessly engaged in the path of pure devotional service with no hidden agenda. Man mana bhav mad bhakto. 9.34 and even 18th chapter. So this is what Krishna wants us to do. Very, very clear. Krishna is not saying you become like me. You become me. No, man mana bhav mad bhakto. You become my devotee. Engage man mana. अपना mind मेरे में लगाओ. Man mana. Put your mind, your actions, your deeds, yourself, your heart in my worship. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. So this is the if we serve Krishna, we'll be happy. But if you're not careful, and we will become envious of God. So Mayavadis are basically envious of God because they want to compete with God. They can't see him in that spiritual master or supreme spiritual master of all. They say, oh, if he can be God, then I can also be God. Or I want to be better than him. I want to compete him. So, but devotee has no such agenda. The reason we are here is because we want to be tiny gods. We all try to be tiny gods, tiny controllers, tiny enjoyers. But how much can we enjoy? Right? If we eat 10 gulab jamuns, we'll have so much problem. We'll have Krishna can enjoy mountains of boga like Govardhan Lila. But can we eat 20 samosas? Can we eat 20 gulab jamuns? Can we eat 20 pizzas? If we do, we'll have severe stomach problems and more problems. So but we try to enjoy, try to be the bhokta, try to be the Lord and the Master. Therefore, we are here in suffering in this material world. This world is a reformatory place, so that we can understand that we're not we'll not be happy if we try to be God. We'll only be happy when we are in our true position, and that position is the servant of God. That will make us very happy. And that's what devotees are. Krishna Bhakta Bindas, Mayadas Udas. Any other comments, thoughts, questions? Next verse 31. Anyone? Yes, Devki Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sarva Veda Sutta Kare Krishna Abhidhana Mukhya Vitti Chari Kela Lakshana Piyakhyana. Translation. In all the Vedic sutras and literatures, it is Lord Krishna who is to be understood, but the followers of Shankaracharya have covered the real meaning of the Vedas with indirect explanations. It is said, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bhavati Tatha Adhav Antecha Madhyecha Hari Sarvatra Giyati. In the Vedic literature, including the Ramayana, Puranas, and Mahabharata, from the very beginning, Adho, to the end, Antecha, as well as within the middle, Madhyecha, only Hari, the Supreme Personality of God, is explained. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Thank you for
we
reading.
understand. Yes, I did the reading. So till now we have understood that in all the Vedic literatures, that Krishna is the Godhead. He is the Supreme. But Shankaracharya and his followers have misunderstand the concept of Krishna as the Supreme Lord. That's what Prabhuji Bhakti is.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, Shankaracharya basically concealed the meaning of, and that's what was his purpose was, to trick the innocent people so that they cannot understand the real meaning of the Shastra. So he preached Chand Mayavad, or sorry, he preached impersonalism on the name of Vedic Shastra. So one should always be careful whom do we follow, which acharya do we follow. So Prabhupada shared Bhagavad Gita as it is, and therefore this Bhaktivedanta purports convey the meaning as it is. Direct explanations, right? Not like beating around the bush. in other words, like, Shankaracharya concealed or covered the real meaning, like didn't get to the essence. But any devotee who comes to ISKCON, in day 1 or 2, they will hear Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the very day 1, the whole program is based around Krishna. The chanting, the japa, the kirtan, the bhogarti, the bhoga offering, the prasadam. One cannot, if one is having a conversation with a devotee, one will hear the word Krishna in the first 1 or 2 minutes, right? If it's a spiritual discussion going on. So, no beating around the bush. Get to the core. Life is short. We don't have time for much like indirect word jugglery and this and that. Get to the crux. And the crux is Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality. And what do all the scriptures say? Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adav Ante Cha Madhye Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Very beautiful words. I think we all should memorize it. We'll try it now. Vede, all the Vedas, Ramayana, all the Itihasas, Chaiva, etc., Cha, Purani, all the Puranas, Upanishads, etc., Bharati, referring to Mahabharata here, Tatha, like Vedic literatures like Ramayana, like Mahabharata, all the Puranas, the Itihasas, etc., etc. Ada is the beginning, Adi, Adi Lila, Adi. Anta, we have three divisions, Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Anta Lila. Madhya means middle, Anta. So, for all these scriptures, the beginning of the scriptures, the middle of the scriptures, the end of the scriptures, they're talking one thing. What are they talking? Sarvatra, they are singing the glories of Hari or Krishna. Ado, Anta, Ante cha Madhye cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate Sabhi. They are singing the glories of Lord Hari or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's only is what's explained in the scriptures. If one reads Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and takes Hari out of the picture, Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita, one will not derive anything out of it. So, whether we are reading any Itihasa, any Upanishad, Puranas, etc., Hari has to be the Adi Anta Madhyacha. The middle, the center, the end, everything is centered around Hari. Would someone like to recite this verse so we can memorize it? First, some of you will recite seeing, and then some can try without seeing. Anyone feeling inspired?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will try.
Yes, Manoj.
वेदे रामायणे चैव पुराणे भारत तथा आदव अन्ते च मध्ये च हरिः सर्वत्र गीयते.
Wonderful. Let's put a break here. Yeah, very nice. Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danvat Prabhu. I'll try Prabhuji. Vede Ramayane Chaiva. Vede Ramayane Chaiva. Purane Bharate Tata. Adhav Ante Cha Madhye Cha Harir Sarvatra Giyate. Sarvatra Giyate. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Now let's try to break these 3 or 4 lines. Right? So line number 3 is talking about Adi Anta Madhya Cha. Adi, Ada, Anta Cha, Madhya Cha. What is the core? They're all talking about Hari. Hari Sarvatra Kiyate, line number 4. Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha. Right? So now we'll try to recite without seeing it, okay? So what is the first? Vede Ramayane Chaiva. The Vedas, Ramayana, etc. Chaiva, Purani,
Bharate
Tatha.
Tata.
Like, now go with the expression also. So the third line, beginning, middle, end. Ado, ante, cha, madhya, cha. What are they talking about? They're talking about the Supreme Lord. Hari Bol. Hari Sarvatra Giyate Gate. Right? Very simple, right? With expression and with break down the lines. Who would like to try? Anyone?
I'll try. Should I prove?
Yeah,
Or should we?
you can try the verse, and then Ruby Mataji can try.
Vede cha. Okay, I lost the second word, Prabhuji. Vede cha.
Vede Ramayane.
Ramayane. Okay.
Hmm.
Vede Ramayane cha Purane Bharate tada Adau Adau Antya cha Madhye cha Sarvatra Hari Gitaya
Giyate. Hmm.
Giyate.
Very nice.
Thank you,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
excellent, Srila Mataji. Your memory, Krishna says, amongst the women, I am the memory. Women have sharp memory.
You had it simplified, Prabhuji, otherwise wouldn't. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Ruby Mataji.
वेदे रामायणे चैव पुराणे भरते तथा आदौ अन्ते च मध्ये च हरिर्सर्वत्र गीयते हरिर्सर्वत्र गीयते.
Yeah, excellent. All of you are so amazing, as if you memorized this like 10 years back, I feel.
Prabhuji, you nicely explained and you break down nicely so that it's easy to.
Anyone else wants to try? A little bit Sanskrit I'll share, which may help. In English, if let's say Ram and Lakshmana are going, we'll say Ram and Lakshmana, right? We'll write, right? In Hindi, what will we write? Rama or not like or. In Hindi, or Lakshmana, ja rahe hain, right? They are going. What do we say in Odia? Or Telugu?
राम एवं लक्ष्मण.
Rama evam Lakshman. Okay, quite similar, right? Rama evam, right? Evam?
Yes, Prabhuji, evam.
Evam, okay. Evam,
Evam. Yes.
okay. What do we say in Telugu?
Rama Mariyu Lakshmana.
Rama, Mariyu,
Yeah, Lakshmana.
Lakshmana. So,
Rama.
did you notice one thing? I mean, Rama and Lakshmana word are the same. The word and changes here. But in Sanskrit, it's a little bit different. In Sanskrit, we don't put the word after the first word. We write the second word and then put the word cha, which means and. How many of you knew that? Okay, now you know.
Just came to know, Prabhuji.
Because it will help you. It
Yes.
will help you in multiple things. It will help you understand. So you see, Vede Ramayane cha. So it's Vedas and Ramayana, but then they're putting it after. Adav Ante cha. Right?
Mm.
Adi and end and middle, right? Are you following? This is an important concept which will help in multiple verses.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is everyone clear, or should I explain one more time?
It's
So
good, Prabhuji. It's good.
good, right? So
Yes, Prabhuji.
let's say if I have to write Sita and Radha, how will I write in Sanskrit?
Sita Radha Cha. Sita Radha.
Radha, cha, right? Easy? Okay, that's it for now. The Sanskrit part. It will be very helpful. Let's focus on this verse in 4 lines, right? So now you know the word cha has come 2-3 times here, right? Anyone else wants to try?
Hare Krishna.
Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adi Ante Cha Madhye Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Important verse. All the scriptures, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all the Itihasas, all the Puranas, are talking about only one thing. Beginning, middle, or end. They're talking about Hari. They're talking about Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Nothing else. So someone is giving a big speech, talking about Ramayana, talking about Mahabharata, but there is no question of the glorification of Hari. That means it's not bona fide. The words which do not describe the glories of Lord Hari are called the holy places for the crows, where the crows come and assemble and pass to. Right? Yes, Devaki Mataji, you want to recite this?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes, let me try. Vede Ramayana Cha. Vede Ramayana Cheva Purane. Purane Bharata. Purane Bharata Katha. Adav Ante Madhye Cha. Hari Gayati, something like that. Hari Sarvatra Gayati.
All of them.
Hari Sarvatra Gayati.
Yes, very nice.
Gayati.
Sarvatra. Yeah, all of them are explaining or glorifying. Very nice. Excellent. Any comments before we move on, or anyone else wants to recite or has a question about this verse topic? It's very good to memorize verses. It helps in multiple ways, keeps our brain active, helps to remember Krishna. And there's so many glories of memorizing verses. You must try.
Prabhuji, here Bharate meaning Mahabharata, right?
Yeah.
True? Purane Mahabharata. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Mahabharata, the story of greater India. Bharate. That's referring to Mahabharata. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hari Bol. 132, anyone would like to read?
Prabhuji, I can try if
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam, devotees. Text 132. Swata Pramana Veda Paramana Siromani Lakshana Karile Swata Pramanata Hani. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The self-evident Vedic literatures are the highest evidence of all, but if these literatures are interpreted, their self-evident nature is lost. Purport: we quote Vedic evidence to support our statements, but if we interpret it according to our own judgment, the authority of the Vedic literature is rendered imperfect or useless. In other words, by interpreting the Vedic version, one minimizes the value of Vedic evidence. When one quotes from Vedic literature, it is understood that the quotations are authoritative. How can one bring the authority under his own control? This is a cause of Principus Augusta, I think, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Back to you. Haribol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for reading. Let's see what this means. To resist the first approaches. Resist. Resist the first. Resist the beginning. Okay. Okay, nip in the bud. I think that's more common. Okay. How can one bring that authority under his own control? When one quotes from the Vedic literature, it is to be understood that the quotations are authoritative. Okay. So, any devotee who gives class in ISKCON, you will see there is some realization, right? Some practical, experiential knowledge, etc. But we often quote from the Bhagavad Gita, often quote from the Bhagavatam. One must. Why? To prove our case, right? Like Prabhupada said, the devotees must quote like lawyers. Like lawyers, they quote, oh, Article 69, Section 2, point A states that. Similarly, we say, oh, Krishna says in 934 of Bhagavad Gita, become my devotee. Man mana bhav man bhakto. But if someone says, no. Oh, Krishna says Bhagavad Gita 9:34. Well, Krishna is talking about, some energy within. You become that energy, and you also become Van Mana Bhav Man Bhakto. You become like that. You also become the God. You become. This some unknown, some inconceivable thing is speaking from within, and you become, just like nonsense word jugglery, right? So, if these literatures like Gita, Bhagavatam, etc., are misinterpreted or misunderstood, their self-evident nature is lost, right? One can speak 2 hours on the Gita, this verse, 934. But if they're misinterpreting it has no value, right? We quote Vedic evidence to support our statements. Oh, why should we become a devotee of God? Because Krishna says that multiple times in the Bhagavad Gita. Become my devotee. This is a real path of happiness. Susukham kartum avyayam. But if we misinterpret according to our own judgment, false judgment, bodily judgment, material judgment, the authority of Vedic literature is rendered imperfect or useless. I mean, right? It's basically futile. In other words, by interpreting the Vedic version, so same, basically all the scriptures, Hari Sarvatra Giyate, they're talking about Hari, but if I take out Hari out of the picture, it's useless. In other words, by interpreting the Vedic version, one minimizes the value of Vedic evidence. They're self-evident. A diamond is pure. You don't need to polish a diamond. You don't need to, like, sugarcoat a diamond. A diamond is diamond. Pure gold will glitter. You don't need to like make, if something is not gold, it has to be polished and this and that, but pure gold is going to glitter. So pure qualities, pure Shastra, just by reading that, one will get purified. So in short, if someone says, oh no, scripture says that and this, and we should nip that in the bud, like don't entertain that, don't hear from such people, leave the place. We are Therefore, we read Bhaktivedanta Purports, we read Prabhupada's books, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prabhupada says we have to present the philosophy as it is, not misinterpret, nor put our own concoctions, speculations, materialistic mindset. Acharyas have given us everything, self-evident. Read Bhagavad Gita, Caitanya Caritamrita, Bhagavatam. What more is required? There's the highest evidence. Pramana Shiromani, Shiromani, the crest jewel, like Bhakti Shiromani, Pramana Shiromani is Swata Pramana Veda. They are the self-evident. We don't need to polish them. Or rather, they are not polishing. I mean, the acharyas do like bring out even, the more personal, like Prati Shloki, Prati Akshari Nana Artika. So personal or devotional meanings are absolutely fine. But non-devotional, impersonalist meaning, which take God out of picture, that we don't entertain. Any comments there? Okay,
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Satish.
So when we explain whatever class we are giving, we have to give evidence. If we don't give evidence from the Shastra, from Mahabharata, etc., then it goes against the principles. This is what he's saying here. So we have to bear these principles of reciting from the Shastras, from Mahabharata, from Bhagavad Gita, etc. This is what we mustn't go against these principles then.
So true. Prabhupada wanted us to give proofs. It makes what we speak credible. Like, who cares about what I think? I may say, I think this is that. I think this is that. But when we say, oh, Bhagavad Gita says this, it is Shabda Brahman. It is non-different from Krishna. It is Vedavakya. It is like the law. Like if someone says, hey, in this country, there's a law to stop on the red light, and I didn't make that law. The country has made the law. Now, only a fool would question it. Only a fool would try to mess with it. Only a fool would try to challenge it. An intelligent person would say, no, okay, I trust you. You're saying it for my benefit. I don't want to mess and like break it and then like feel the consequences. And intelligent person hears, oh, it's Vedavakya. I will not go against it. It's Brahmavakya. It's the law. It's the law of God. I better follow it. I'll be happy. If I choose to rebel or play with it, I'll have to suffer the consequences. In India, I think, I don't know, now it happens, but when I was small, I used to watch this. They'll say, whatever I speak in the court, I put my hand and take oath on the Gita. Whatever I'm going to speak is going to be truth. At least they do. I don't know if they still do that, but I watched in some serial or somewhere way back. So that much respect people had for the Shastra. If two people are talking and they're having a debate and say, hey, no, I think this is going to happen. And then the other will say, hey, is it Vedavakya? Like how can you say it's going to be like this? If it's Vedavakya, then yes, right? Because scriptures don't lie, scriptures don't change. Modern scientists, doctors, philosophers, today they say this medicine works, tomorrow some other thing works, and 1 year later they say both were wrong and had multiple bad effects. Good luck to all those who had it. Right? But scriptures don't change.
Prabhuji, and it is so nice when everyone explaining the same principle when we do other classes in ISKCON, Everyone has the book in front and all the evidence is given. This is what makes the classes perfect, This is what we enjoy, because it's not manipulated things. It is not things invented, all with a praman. No? We enjoy the class in this way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, Poli Mataji, last verse you'll read for today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. এই মত প্রতিসূত্রে সহজার্থ ছাড়িয়া গৌণার্থ ব্যাখ্যা করে কল্পনা করিয়া. To prove their philosophy, the member of the Mayavada school have given up the real, easily understood meaning of the Vedic literature and introduced indirect meanings based on their imaginative powers. Purport. Unfortunately, the Shankarit interpretation has covered almost the entire world. Therefore, there is a great need to present the original, easily understood natural import of the Vedic literature. We have therefore begun by presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we purpose to present all the Vedic literature in terms of the direct meaning of its words. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this beautiful verse. Eimatta Pratisutre. So this mindset, right? This mindset, this view, the Mayavadis, Sahaj, simple, artha, meanings, chadiya, chhod diya. Gaun artha vyakhya, indirect meaning, they have expanded. करे कल्पना करिया, अपनी कल्पना से, अपनी imagination से, अपनी misconception, word jugglery, they have taken indirect meaning and just expanded or expounded upon those, but given up the simple meaning, the direct meaning, the mukhya artha, right? That's nonsense. That's not what Krishna wants to convey. That's not what the acharyas want to convey. Vedeshcha sarve ahameva vedya. From all the Vedas, I am to be known. Adi, Adav, Ante cha madhya cha hari sarvatra giyate. So it links, right? So try to link one of the words. Sarvesh, Vedeshcha sarves ahameva vedya, right? So there's two verses kind of link, right? From all the Vedas, I am to be known. And the beginning and in the middle of the scriptures, right? Hari sarvatra giyate. But this simple meaning, this clear meaning, this bold mukhya artha, they rejected, chadiya. And they take the indirect meaning. Gauna artha, vyakhya, us pe vyakhya kar rahe hain. 1 घंटा, 4, 4, 5 hours. They're just talking about through what? Kalpana kariya. Apni imagination se. That's not the devotee path. The devotee path is we accept the words of the Guru Sadhu Shastra. We accept the direct meanings. Krishna says, Manmana Bhammad Bhakto, there is no like second meaning there. The meaning is become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, period. This Gauranga Prabhu was one time explaining, Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannivishto. Some people may say, oh, look what Krishna is saying. Sarva, all of you people, Sarvasya Cha, chai piyo. Kaisa? Sarvasya Cha, Sannivishto, stove पे बना हुआ चाय पियो. So stove, right? Chula, stove. So everyone should drink chai made on stove. And people are saying, wow, look at such a brilliant meaning, right? Amazing meaning. Wow, this is such a scholar, right? Nonsense, right? Taking like cheating others, right? And people make people, there's no dearth of innocent people who are gullible, who may not be aware of these, and they may say, wow, 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 such a brilliant philosopher. Hmm? Right? There's a story by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, hmm, which two fools were debating. Hmm? Right? There was, hmm, no, actually, one person who claimed to be a great acharya comes in this comes in this village and says, "Oh, I'm the great Pandit of Sanskrit. I know everything." And you know, other peoples didn't know anything in that village. And he said a few words, Tom Pentring, you know, like he said, like weird nonsense words, which had no meaning, but no one else knew. Like the drum, right? Like making weird sound, mere weird words, which he didn't know what he was talking, and others didn't know what he's talking. But so one time, a great pandit, a real learned pandit, came to that village and said, "Okay, is there any person who I can debate with?" And everyone said, "Oh, look, we have this great personality who has recently come to our town. He's a scholar of Sanskrit and this and that." He's going to now he is like shaking in his heart, like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Like in front of fools, anyone will be in front of like innocent, gullible people. One can claim to be a great pandit, but in front of learned, you cannot fake it, right? In front of learned, you can't fake it. They'll easily catch it. So the person asked him, the learned scholar, the actual learned scholar asked him, Kastvam, Katvam, please tell me about yourself. Like, please give me, like who are you, your background, like, in interviews, can you tell me about yourself? Like the first question, can you give me your background? So basically, and this person was like shaking inside his heart. What will I reply? I don't know a word of Sanskrit, and I'm making everyone think as if I'm a learned scholar. And he says, Custom, Justom, Bustom, Mustom, Astom, Dustom, Dastom, Prostom. It's like he speaks 20 words, and everyone, all his people, boom, 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 boom. He said one word, our guy said 20 words. Wow, look at him, wow. He said 20 words. He is so powerful, so great, so, wow, wow, Hari ball to him. That learned part left. There's no point talking to fools here, you know. Andhant yathandir upagiyamana, blind leading the blind, there's no point talking to these people. So that's what, indirect meaning. Kalpana kari, vyakhya, mukhya artha, chadiya, sahaj arth. Scriptures are simple, simple for simple. Bhakti is simple. We don't need to complicate it. Bhakti is simple. Spiritual life is simple, pure. But often we complicate it. We forget why we are here. So let's keep it simple. Chant Hare Krishna, take Krishna Prasad. Don't offend anyone. Be kind, caring, loving to oneself and to others. Always remember Krishna. Always be grateful. Take shelter of bona fide Guru. Be kind, humble, grateful, and share what we have received. Simple principles. One will get the topmost things. It takes simple things to get to great things in life. We don't need to be a great devotee. We need to be a good devotee as Vishishka Prabhu says, this with great japa, with great sadhana. Try to, I was hearing today, Krishna loves us for what we are. I have so many shortcomings. Yes, I do have. But still, Krishna loves us. But that doesn't mean that I should maintain those shortcomings, because Krishna loves us because he is great. But I should also try to uplift myself. That Krishna is so kind, he's loving me because of, in spite of all my shortcomings, I must also try to reciprocate by being a better person, by being a better devotee. Sahaj, Sahaj Artha, simple meaning. Bhakti is simple. Hare Krishna. Any comments, thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much, Prabhu. The last few minutes you have summarized nicely. Prabhu, one question on this speculative response. In some cases, of course, it has to be heard from the bona fide parampara and then Siksha Gurus and all. But if at point when we try to explain who is interested and who came to us, then yes, we should redirect them to the devotees who can explain in a more Shastric way, according to Guru Sadhu Shastra. But if in some cases where we get to give the guidance, then how to differentiate whether I'm speculating or I'm passing the message? Like simply we come across sometimes to devotees or in discussion points with devotees. How to identify ourselves, whether I'm speculating or am I actually going through? Because even in Ramayana is like a story, right? Bhagavad Gita, yes, will have reference and what Krishna says and so forth. And Ramayana is like a story. Yes, it's a real story and it's for Loka Kalyana, like a Lila to happen. But in some places, bottom line, how to identify myself whether I'm speculating in conversation with devotees. I'd like to hear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for your thoughtful question. A few things one has to keep in mind. One is, the more we will hear from pure souls, pure sources, the more we'll be able to repeat it, right? We are nourishing our intelligence. We are nurturing ourselves. And when the time to speak will come, let's say you are distributing books, you are meeting a stranger, we may not be, okay, let me talk to my senior or Shiksha Guru and then I will respond. It may not be the situation like that. For complex questions, if we don't know the answer, we should, the ego is so subtle. Sometimes we want to prove it. No, I know every answer to everything. No, be humble. Even Lord Brahma, when Devatas went and with Mother Earth, and Brahmaji, please help us. Brahma said, sorry, this problem is beyond me. Let's go to Lord Vishnu. So that's a great lesson there. That even Lord Brahma, with his quad core processor, the four brains, the body made up of intelligence, was humble enough to say, I don't know. Right? So we don't need to have answer to everything, but we can always say, hey, if you don't know and you're not sure what to say, I need some time, I'll get back to you. Right? It's absolutely fine. Prabhupada said, we need to reiterate or repeat what we have heard. Whatever we have heard Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, we'll just say, see, I don't know much, but I know that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, I'm chanting this mantra, I'm eating Krishna Prasad, and this has really changed my life. I feel a great difference, and I would encourage you to give a benefit of doubt and try, and come to this class, wherever the program, connecting them. That's absolutely fine. There have been so many instances that devotee A connected some new person, B. Devotee A was lukewarm, but the B took it very seriously. I know in my own family, right? And B became a much better devotee. A is still lukewarm, right? So A helped B to get there, and B, you know, took it further, right? By reading Prabhupada's books. So one thing, so the one is to know what we don't know, right? Other is to always, as Prabhupada said, Krishna, I am a fool. Always remember that I am no one to make anyone a devotee. But Krishna, you help me. As Chaitya Guru, as Paramatma. Prabhupada said, Nachai, Nachai, Nachai se mate. Kashtera putali yatha. I'm like a doll. Make me now. You let the right words come out of my mouth. You control my tongue. I am your puppet. You are my puppeteer. Krishna, I don't know. So therefore, any devotee who gives a class, we chant the Mangala Charan. We seek blessings from Guru Krishna. That for the next hour or so, we're going to speak something. Krishna, please let the right words come for the benefit of myself and for the others. So this should be the mood every day. We interact with people, we interact with anyone. This should be our mood. Let the right words come out of my mouth. Let not anything inappropriate come out of my mouth, especially when we are talking about Krishna consciousness. So we have to have this prayerful mood, right? We have to sincerely seek prayers. We have to try our best. And the more we hear, right, the more we are nourishing ourselves, the more we'll be able to repeat. Right? What is preaching? Preaching, as His Grace Vishishka Prabhu says, it's a overflow, right? So we have to constantly nourish ourselves, so the right words will come. And when in doubt, reach out, right? When we are not sure, we should always reach out, rather than and have, and gradually our connection with Paramatma will grow. And when we even are on the fence, we're not sure, should I say this, should I not say this? Krishna will give guidance through directly, indirectly. And we are not sure, we can always, better than speaking wrong, it's always good to not speak. It's safe. No one is hurt. We, even if we were on the fence, or sometimes, it's good to have mentor and check with them that Prabhu, I responded to in this situation like this. Do you have any feedback for me? Was it the right way? Could there be a better way to address it? One should be seeking out for feedback, right? One should reach out, when, especially, let's say you're giving a class, or even you are sharing or answering someone new person's doubt question. It's always good, we must reach out, we must take feedback from our superiors, and then we'll learn what went right and where is the room for improvement. So all these things combined, I think, should help. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so very much, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Not just you explained not just the straight point, but you covered a couple of other pointers also. Like, what if I do not know, at the same time know, but not sure, and know completely, but then also if it is as per Guru Sadhu Shastra, then only speak. Otherwise, check with the mentor. Although I feel like I know, but we have to be careful. Yes, it is preaching, but then also we have to be careful what we speak, right? Because it will go to the other person. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Mataji just mentioned about Ramayana. If we study Ramayana, it's the same as Bhagavad Gita. If we go verse by verse, it's so beautiful. It's not a story. If we study Ramcharitmanas with all the verses, who is Bharata, who is Hanuman, so nicely explained Prabhuji verse by verse. So it's not only a story, Mataji. It is so beautifully explained by scholars.
Yeah, you're right, Mataji. Sorry,
Just try
apologies.
to study
I
it.
was,
You see,
yeah,
verse
we
by
were
verse, so
reading,
beautiful. Yeah.
sure, Mataji. We were reading the Valmiki Ramayana book, which was
Mhm.
shared, distributed. In that book, it was more of a story, so somehow
Yeah. Just like
it came out
Mahabharata.
like a story.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Mahabharata in story, we have Ramayana also in stories. But when you studied verse by verse, it's so supreme. Yeah.
Got it, Mataji.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you so much for adding. Very
Sorry
well.
to this. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you for sharing wonderful thoughts. So I guess we'll pause here and continue tomorrow. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.